Hi, everyone, and welcome to Take a Pause with Mare. We will discuss the pause in all of her glory and not so glory. So grab some coffee and get ready to have a conversation that is honest, real, and maybe a little bit funny. And usually it's a little bit funny. So here's our coffee.
Cheers.
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 Sip happens. That's right. Menopause, because
Mm.
sip does happen. So
Mhm.
I am happy to have Raquel, who is also a partner with Menopalz. Hi, Raquel.
Hello.
And we have Amalia, who is the healing hairstylist.
Hello.
Which
And
we
we're,
love the healing hairstylist. My 80s perm came back in menopause, so I'm curious.
Oh, I've got all the information we need.
yes, yes, we were just talking about that. I have been also so excited just to talk with you and have this podcast because hair is such a thing that changes during
Oh,
menopause.
yeah.
It's like another thing, right? Just
Another
the
thing.
other thing that you don't really even know. But I was telling you earlier, I did not have this 80s perm, except in the 80s when I got the perm, my hair is poker straight, like straight,
Yeah.
straight. And now it's getting curlier. And even my husband's like, what are you doing to your hair? And I'm like, nothing. I now have
Nothing.
curly shampoo because I don't know
Yes.
what to do.
Which, like all things peri in menopause, we have estrogen to blame for that.
Ooh.
Ugh, I know.
Did you
But
see
you know
my
what?
Curly hair is beautiful, and I feel like it really matches like the vivaciousness we feel, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I think it's something to celebrate. Absolutely.
I mean, that is, I will tell you, this is one of the symptoms that I do enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, because
Yes.
it's never changing. You can go out in your 80s perm and you can go out and straighten it and be cool, you
Exactly.
sassy or whatever you're feeling.
Exactly.
And because let's face it, every day you feel differently. Like
You
Oh,
do.
yeah.
every day I wake up like, what surprise do we have today? What fresh hell are we facing?
Is like that. There's an Instagram with Elf on there, like doing that, that toy, like
Mhm.
just waiting for which one is it gonna be today, and it like pops up, and it's like, oh yeah,
Did
today
you
is
have one of those as a kid? I totally did. The Jack in the Box.
anti-ridden toy, but all good.
Yeah, right? They taught us early to be anxiety ridden.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Amaya, let's dive in. I'm so curious. Tell me what
Okay, yeah.
kind of changes you see in women's hair like after 40. Do you see like a lead up? Is there like, oh, you're starting to look a little different in the hair?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll say I am now seeing it now that I'm going through it myself in my earlier 30s. I'm seeing it before 40. So I think there definitely is a lead up where, especially when, women have children, they experience hair loss. And I feel like what I'm seeing is that doesn't go away. And now the conversation is kind of shifting into, okay, well, this is no longer because of having a baby. This is because of your hormones. So
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I see is change in hair density.
Hmm.
This is something that I think we all universally complain about, especially like on our hairline.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like that is single-handedly the biggest thing that I see is the sort of loss of density there,
Yeah.
and then, kind of continuation of that.
And I forgot that you have already started perimenopause and you're in your 30s.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit
Yeah.
about your journey? Because I think women really need to
Yes.
hear that.
We talk, yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
love to
I
do.
would love to share. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I pretty much it was like the second I turned 32, I felt like I was losing my mind. I was having hot flashes, I was having phantom smells, which that
Oh,
part
yeah.
I will say freaked me out. It smelled like the oven was on, something was burning. I started to see changes in my own hairline, my eyebrows also kind of thinned, so many things. And I shared with my mom, and I was like, am I going crazy? Especially with phantom smells, you're like, am I having a stroke? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
what is going on?
Mhm.
And she then, I wish she would have told me earlier, but I guess no time like the present. She told me that every woman in our family has started perimenopause in their early 30s.
Oh
Isn't
my god.
that wild?
I didn't
Yeah.
Yes.
realize it could be hereditary like that.
Well, and also
Yes.
the
Yeah.
phantom smells is sort of a new thing for me. I thought, I have experienced things like that, and I thought it was just me because you do feel pretty crazy, and
Yeah.
I in particular
Yes.
feel crazy a lot. So
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, just whatever." But I'm glad to hear that. You really validated that for me. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, of course. And after talking to my mom too, that brought so much clarity and it also really changed the conversation for me about how I was approaching going on. And of course, after that, I got full lab panel, talked to my doctor, and told her what was going on. And she's like, well, your labs are normal. And based on symptoms, typically I have very short cycles, sometimes even like 21 days.
Oh wow.
And when you have such a short cycle, you just like burn through eggs quick and it really puts you into that perimenopause sooner.
Oh, well,
That's
Yeah, isn't that
that
interesting?
yeah,
that is
that's a
crazy.
really
I mean, it
fascinating.
makes sense, but it's so wild. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't think that it's just because of yeah, but you're not like, essentially, it's not just 1 egg a month with you, it could with it being 21 days, it is a lot quicker.
totally. Yeah, my doctor also told me too, because I am child free, when you're pregnant, you have months without a cycle, so that kind of prolongs it. And because I haven't had any children, it's just been this rapid cycle. So, I'm so happy my mom shared because I truly for a second was like, what is going on? And then I'm happy too that my doctor also validated, like, yeah, welcome to it. Buckle up, babe. Like, here we go.
I'm glad that you were able to find a provider that, like, even though your labs were normal, she
Yes,
still
Yes.
was able to, like, say, "Hey, this absolutely could be perimenopause," because a lot of times we hear the doctor said,
you're
"Yeah, I
too
don't
young.
know. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
or
no, you're too young.
labs are normal. Here's some
Yes.
SSRIs." It's like, "Just
Mhm.
you're just depressed. Don't worry about it." So
Yep.
you found a winner.
She's awesome and she believes in hormone replacement therapy and she's a girl's girl, so I will never stray from her.
Perfect.
That's
That is awesome.
wonderful. And
Yeah.
we actually
Yeah.
probably gonna off this, we're gonna have to get her name because we probably need to
Yes.
connect.
I will send you her info.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is amazing. So then, yes, I mean, so what do you feel like what made you get into or just try to be the healing hairstylist, which I do love that name, mind
I
you.
love it
So
too.
Thank
where
you.
that was the journey that you started into perimenopause yourself and then went there, or was it something that you dabbled with prior?
So this is something that started actually, I think I've been going by the healing hairstylist for maybe almost 10 years now. I've been behind the chair for 14 years. And when I say the healing hairstylist, I incorporate energy. I treat hair as a sacred ceremony. And I also really try to honor like the authenticity of our own hair and work with it. But I found, I went into beauty school right after 18. I knew what I wanted to do. And then suddenly I was a young woman thrown into a salon of older women, you know, new clients, taking walk-ins, you never know what you're going to get. And I found myself very burnt out.
Mhm.
So as a byproduct of that, I really sought out just classes to help me feel more balanced. And I took classes in meditation, took classes in energy healing. I got certified to teach meditation and energy healing. And I felt so much calmer behind the chair that it really kind of dawned on me like, I want to bring this to the world. If I can be the solace for anyone who walks into my studio, if I can help them, embrace what they have and walk through the world feeling confident
Mm.
and more like themselves, it was kind of like a no brainer for me of like, I have to integrate this into what I'm doing behind the chair.
Oh my God,
That's
that's
actually really beautiful.
it is.
Ew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly.
Thank you.
definitely is. I mean, you were so young to think that. Like a lot
Mhm.
of people your age or younger, I should say, wouldn't have that forethought. So I think that that was like a really brilliant move on your part. And I mean,
Thank you.
how great is it to know the value of energy and hair and how all things are connected, right? I mean, if we think about like,
Yeah.
um, one of the trees, oh my gosh, not maple, aspen. If you think about aspen trees,
Oh,
like if you were to
yeah.
aspen grove, like all of their roots grow together. And like to me, that just shows that like everything's connected. We're all
Mhm.
connected at some level. So the having this like facade up like, oh, we don't care about people. And we joke like, oh, we hate people or oh my God, people drive us crazy. But I think that's just like your brother or your sister, you know what I mean? Like when you
Totally.
say those terms, you're just like, oh, they're driving me crazy right now. But we're all connected in some shape or
It's
form.
so true. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's so true. Yeah, I completely agree with that, and I'm a huge Brené Brown fan, and she has a talk that she gave where she pretty much says, "We have to assume that everyone's trying their best."
Yes.
I believe we are all connected, and I really try to move through the world of, like, the more I heal myself, the more I can heal others. When we give people grace, like, I feel like it creates betterment for the whole planet.
Yeah, yeah, and you're right. We don't there's so many people walking around with a story that we don't know, so we can't just
Yeah.
assume, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
I
very true. It's
I
very true. I
yeah.
know I had gone to it was like a music festival, and there was
Mm.
a tent, and it was a guy there that had a book, and it said, "Every tattoo has a story." And he's like,
Oh.
"Come and tell me your story," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna," and I have a, like, sleeve and a half, and I was like, "I'm not gonna tell my story." Ended up telling him my story, and then I
Of course you did.
well,
True
a
Mayor fashion.
I
I
love
love it.
it.
I love it.
a glass of wine later, I was like, "I do have a story," you
When you're
know?
feeling chatty.
Mhm.
Exactly. And it was just so interesting talking with him, and he also, was into having energy healing and everything, and he said basically the same thing in the sense, like, we're all connected, and, like, everybody has a story, and, like, people are so quick to, like, "Oh, tattoos," or it's like, what's the story? It's always a story,
Yeah.
so it's,
Yeah.
like, so cool, and, like, how you're saying you walk through and yeah, everybody is trying to do the best. Saying, you just need more to talk with more like-minded people like that, and then you feel, like, inspired, like, "Yes,
I
we are out there, like,
Yeah.
trying our best."
yeah.
Yeah, community too with that. I feel like, yeah, exactly what you're saying. Community is everything.
Mhm.
And I think too, that's why I'm so excited to be here, especially starting my own menopause
Yeah.
journey. The timing couldn't have been better
Yeah.
for Raquel to walk into my studio with, what you two were doing. I was like, this is a sign, and I'm
Yep.
going to run towards it.
Yep. Same.
I love that so much.
Same, and when Raquel said we were doing this, I was so excited. I was like, "I have to make sure that my hair looks kinda nice back door, I'm so excited." Yeah.
I know,
You
I've
look
had
gorgeous.
I have to put some more curls in my hair because Amalia does my hair.
I know,
And
and
I
your
thought
hair
to
looks
myself,
great.
if I get on
Yes.
this podcast and my hair looks all raggedy, I'm gonna just do you a disservice. So I tried to make it look somewhat better.
You did great. Also, too, this is something I also tell people of like, you know what? Like, show up how you are. I feel like
Yeah.
authenticity is everything, especially going through hormone changes. Some days we don't have it in us to even put on pants.
Yeah.
And I try to tell everyone in my life, like, just come as you are, and we can still connect and make something beautiful.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Amalia. I will always show up with pants on. I won't love the pants, but I will wear them for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, that's so funny. And, yeah, we do have to I mean, they may be sweatpants, I love how you can do these podcasts and you have it like a sweater on the top, sweatpants on the bottom. It's all great.
You're
Yeah,
good to go.
What
totally.
do what do you think like one of the biggest things that women as they're getting older that like what do we do? What's the mistakes we do? Is it like the products that are interacting with our estrogen levels or what is it? Because I never really even thought about how estrogen declining and the products that I use also are working against each other.
Yeah.
And that I feel like is a big, big part of it. I think, again, as we know, estrogen plays a big part. And especially when it comes to our hair, I'll just start off a little sciency. Our
Oh yeah.
hair grows in 4 phases. And the first phase is anagen. And this is physically when our hair is growing. Now,
Okay.
estrogen is responsible for keeping our hair in its growth phase. So when our
Yeah.
estrogen drops, our growth phase, which is typically 3 to 5 years, can go down to 1. So this means we're having hair shedding more frequently. And this, I think, Mary, you will relate to. Lower estrogen can change the shape of our hair follicles.
Yeah.
So that is why your hair can become curly, is because it literally can change the shape of your hair follicles. So I think understanding a little bit of the science
Yeah.
can really help. And I think it's kind of like one piece of the formula. I think the other piece is truly what we're using on our hair, because we really want to make sure, yeah, we're not using anything that's going to disrupt our body's hormone signals.
Right.
You know, things that are going to keep our scalp microbiome really nice and healthy, and then also address some of the issues that lower estrogen can create within our hair. So it's kind of like two pieces of a formula.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty wild. I mean, to think about your hair taking that long to grow and then all
Yeah.
these phases it has to go through, how in the hell do we have a full head of hair ever?
I know.
I know. And
Yeah.
hair only grows, like, on average, like, half an inch a month. So if you think, in a year, your hair grows 6 inches, and if your hair growth cycle is only a year, you're really not kind of set up for having longer hair.
Mhm.
So I think
Yeah.
it's really about kind of figuring out, being in tune with our body and then learning how to work with it instead of against it.
I really agree with that a lot. I mean, and it's kind of the same thing with all of the different therapies that we have to start to implement as we age, right? Like we have to kind of find the right fit for HRT. If you choose to go the HRT route, we have to find the right fit for clothing because, what we used to love in our 20s doesn't really look so great in our 50s. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so it's just an adjustment. Do you think that, due to the lack of estrogen that we have like less pliability, or do you find hair's a little more stringy, dried out? I mean, do you think like the adjusting of hormones would help with that?
I think it absolutely would, because I think too, with lower estrogen, we have dryness everywhere and our scalp is no different.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
really can kind of dry out our scalp. And then when our hair grows from our follicles and it doesn't have nourishment to support it, I feel like that is when it can become kind of like stringy, it can become fragile. And I think that's when you kind of start to run into issues if you're not addressing it. So, yeah, absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense,
It
actually.
does make a
Yeah.
lot of sense. And the fact is, like, I work with this girl at work who has this, I mean, her hair is beautiful and thick, and she'll get her hair cut pretty short, and it's normally long, cut short. Her hair is already growing, and I'm like, "I got an inch. I grew an inch." And it's like the same amount of time. And she was like, and I was like, "I don't, please don't talk to me about your hair, like getting in your way. It's so long." And I'm like, "I grew an inch. It took 6 months, but it's here, But
And we
I didn't
celebrate
even
that
think
inch.
about it. But it's so true. It does take forever, it seems. Like it's this, you look at
Yeah.
pictures, from like one Christmas to the other, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you zoom in, and I'm like, it was the same length. What is happening? What's happening? Yeah, but now I know.
Yeah, estrogen, and too, there are some other key factors. As we age, how fast our hair grows definitely can slow down as well, just as our
Yeah.
systems change naturally. And another big key component is what is going on internally. So, stress
Mhm.
is a big one. And I feel like stress and hormone change go hand in hand because we feel
Mhm.
like we're losing our mind.
Yeah.
So, we're stressed out, but stress can actually push your hair out of that anagen growing phase into resting phase. So if you get super stressed, your body will tell your hair to stop growing.
Nothing like a cortisol spike to stop your hair growing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So your cortisol and your stress go up, and your hair's like, nope, I'm coming off.
You're just like, we gotta slow it down. We gotta come back to ourselves. And you're like, please no, that's gonna add to my stress.
Exactly,
Like how's
exactly.
your hair falling out, going bald, just to figure out you're stressed out.
Yes.
Nothing like
Another thing, another thing that I would love to talk about too, talking about internally what affects our hair, is I am a big cheerleader of getting regular labs done.
Mm,
Because I've had, people come into the chair and they're like, "Okay, I feel like half of my hair is gone." And I'm like, you need to get blood work because if you have any thyroid conditions, any vitamin deficiencies, that can also really affect. So I think there are things we can do to address the estrogen, to address, on a topical level. But I think I just want to like reiterate, always get your labs because if
Yeah.
something deeper is going on, that will really affect your hair.
That's a really good point, to be honest. I think it's important to, as you're fine tuning all your pieces and your little wobbly bits throughout our aging process, it's important that we are staying in front of that and we are knowing what's going on in our body, and being in tune with our body is so huge, so
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And, with when you were saying about everything is, drying,
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Is there, something that we can use that would, be beneficial for, like, the scalp that wouldn't, be, more of like a homeopathic or like a holistic type of thing, like you can make it home? Because I s I don't know, I saw someplace or read, like, is it honey or I can't even, or olive oil? It must be maybe olive oil. I couldn't imagine putting
Or
honey.
castor oil. I use castor oil, but I mean, how are you going to get that out of your hair?
Mm,
That I will say there are things that you can use like a DIY at home. I think if you're going to use any kind of oil, I recommend like cold pressed 100% jojoba oil.
Oh,
Molecularly, it's the closest to the sebum or like the oil our scalp naturally makes.
mhm.
So I think if there's something you want to do at home, jojoba oil is going to be your best bet. I think this is what I see too. A lot of people reach for like olive oil or coconut oil, but I always say if you can cook with it, it doesn't belong on your skin.
Oh, you
thank
have
you. Thank you.
right.
I don't know if that's come up before, but that's always what I tell people. If we're cooking with it, we don't want to use it as a beauty product. We want to leave it in the kitchen.
No, no play on words here, but now we're cooking with oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It is so true. I mean, let the Wesson just stay in the kitchen, you know?
Just keep the
Yes.
lesson on the coupon, right? We don't need it in our
Yeah.
hair.
I think
Yeah.
that but yeah, I think that I didn't even realize that,
I didn't
because
either.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is something that I think your average woman wouldn't know unless you knew kind of the science behind it. But I think, there are some things we can do like DIY, but what I really prefer to use is find a brand that you really love that isn't going to work against your body, but with. And by that, I mean a product line that doesn't have any sulfates, silicones, any endocrine disruptors, any parabens. So find a really good hair care line and just, go with that. I feel like there's some amazing ones on the market. I personally use Inner Sense Organic Beauty. They're a
Mhm.
fully organic hair care line. They don't contain any of the yucky ingredients. They utilize like natural oils, honey, essential oils. And I feel like when I use that line, I know that regardless of what product I pick up, it's going to work with my body and not against it. I also want to throw into label literacy. I'm really huge on, and essentially, looking at a label and being able to figure out what's in it. When it comes to hair care, the FDA does not do a great job on making sure there aren't yucky ingredients.
We are
So,
women. Keep that in mind.
yeah, yes, yeah, they don't
No,
care.
they don't
But
care.
Your
I mean,
women's
up and
research. Get the women.
yeah,
yes,
There's no women involved.
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, up until recently, there was like I think it was lead in tampons. So,
yes,
what is
yeah. Cosmetic products, yeah,
yeah,
they truly don't really care, but something too because our brains can only hold so much information, and when you talk about like methosulfates, like how are we going to remember that? There is an app that I personally love to use called
okay.
Think Dirty,
Uh,
Oh, think dirty.
and
That's different than mine. Okay. I'm going to
oh,
write that
yes,
down.
Think Dirty, and this it has a camera. You can scan the product.
perfect.
Yes, and it breaks down. It's like a 1 to 10. So the line I use, InnerSense, it's like a 0 or 1, like no yucky ingredients, where if you
Wow.
were to just pick up maybe like, I don't know, something from the grocery store it might have a 10 and it'll have a red label and it'll tell you exactly what is in it that is going to harm your system.
And the
that
endocrine disruptor is huge. Like when you touched
yeah.
on that, I was like, absolutely. I talk about that so much
Yes.
because as I got going through my journey and as sick as I was, I changed everything, every product. I mean, I did it piece by piece. I didn't just, go out and spend 2 grand, but I just definitely like cut out everything. I don't even wash dishes without wearing gloves because I don't want those things on my skin because our skin is our biggest
Mhm.
like absorber. I mean, right? That's
Yes.
going to be the number one organ that takes in everything.
1,000%, and our scalp is also our skin, which I
Yeah.
try to remind people.
Yeah.
So our scalp is the same thing, the same
Yeah.
way.
That's a
No,
great point.
it's so funny because my hair is like all up here. It's like very thin. And in the summertime, if I don't put a hat on, I'll get sunburn on my scalp.
Mhm.
Yes. Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I will slather myself with suntan lotion. I'm a big like fan of that. Like you got to protect the skin. Never
Oh,
think
yeah.
about then I go wash my hair and I'm like, oh, it hurts because you got
Yeah.
sunburn on it. Like
Yeah.
but it's like something like people I don't think about their scalp as
I
anything.
agree. I
Mhm.
completely agree. Something that I take as my personal responsibility behind the chair is when I do a client's hair, if I notice anything on their scalp too that doesn't look normal, I will always photograph it, alert them. And I've had a few clients say thank you so much because this is actually skin cancer.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
as we go through life, exactly what you were saying, we don't think about
No.
our scalp being burned and, things like that happening. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, you think, "Oh, the hair's covering it," but not that
But
thick.
not what it needs to be. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough.
So what about like with hair dryers and things? Like would that kind of fall into the same category? Like if you have too much heat on the head, I mean, is there kind of any damage? I mean, obviously too much heat on the hair is going to damage it, but like with hair dryers in particular.
So, hair dryers, I feel like when we think about our hair, we want to think about our hair in a way that kind of shifts the narrative we have. I like to think about hair like it's a fine fabric, like a silk.
Yeah.
And, it's like, would you throw your silk pillowcase in the dryer?
Right.
You know, yeah,
Right.
I think our hair is very similar where if you're using a hair dryer, the heat isn't going to affect your scalp. But I do think, especially as our hair becomes more fine with that drop of estrogen, maybe it's a little more brittle, lowering that heat down, maybe allowing your hair to air dry, not using a hair dryer as much. I think those things are really important.
I think that's definitely a good tip because I personally have tried to use less of the hair dryer and I've noticed a difference in my hair. I mean, it definitely has a little more like pliability. It's happy. It
Yeah.
seems happier with me.
Yes, yes. You're in sync with your hair a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like a boy band now.
Band's all back together, yeah. How much,
Almost famous.
does, like, sleep and nutrition, like, because now I'm to the point where I'm trying to get protein, like, I mean, the amount of protein, I didn't even realize, to tell you the truth. I thought I was getting enough protein. Evidently, no. No, I wasn't.
Fiber, I had no idea.
Uh, I know, and it like literally you have to relearn. And this is why I always say it's a lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
people will say, oh, menopause. And I'm like, it's a lifestyle because
Right.
what
Totally.
you did in your 20s, it's not going to sustain you as you get older because
Just
of
be
just
Mhm.
grateful you got to do all that in your 20s, right?
no. I mean, I don't even know how much protein I had then, but I continue to eat like that now, and I'm like a grazer, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'll just have like" I couldn't live off a charcuterie board, like it was nothing. I was like, "Oh, I'll take a piece of that cheese with a cracker, I'm
Mhm.
good."
Yeah.
Not gonna help you when you're like my age and you're like, "Okay, so now you need more protein," and I'm thinking, does more protein help hair growth
Yeah,
or
that's a good
does it
question.
So more protein isn't going to boost any hair growth, but I think instead of like boosting or adding, we really just want to make sure that our system is fueled enough to work properly.
Uh,
So I think, yes, having the appropriate amount of protein, eating a balanced diet, because again, vitamin deficiencies can cause issues with the scalp.
yeah,
So yeah, protein, balanced diet, water, sleep. Our hair is truly a reflection of what's going on internally.
Yeah.
And I think food and sleep is a big piece of that. Our hair tells us exactly what is going on internally.
It's almost like a house plant, right?
Yes. Yes. We got to give it love. We got to water it. Yes.
When my plants get a little sad looking, little gray looking, I'm like, "Oh, you need water?"
oh yeah.
A little thirsty.
Yeah.
I mean, that is such a great way to look at it though, like how your ha well, now I'm gonna look at people's hair now more because I'll be like,
Yes.
Mhm,
let
mhm.
me see," but it
Yep.
is very true, like, you don't think about it, but I
Right.
mean,
I know I definitely didn't think about hair until all mine fell out. I just took it for
Yeah.
granted, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I have hair and a lot of it," and it was always just a joke, but then when it all fell out and I had none, I was like, "Ooh, this is I gotta change my thinking here." So it was
right,
definitely an eye
Yeah.
opener for me. Uh-huh.
right,
That
but
could
it just
be.
proves that everything you just said, how, like, things were not good inside,
Uh-huh.
so that is your outside, like your plant, like you said, like, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that
I
is
think
that is
Yeah.
awesome. I definitely will
I
I'm checking
I know I have a question. Is gray hair stronger than not gray hair?
So gray hair is more coarse.
Okay.
And the outside of our hair layer, it's kind of like shingles on a roof. And gray hair, you're gonna have more shingles and they're gonna be like locked in tight.
Oh.
So it is a little bit stronger. It is a little more resistant to things like color, and it is a different texture. And that is a phenomenal question. Yeah, gray hair totally is stronger. I will say though, this is what I find interesting how gray it is kind of dictates that because if you see like I'll give you my mom for example, she had very naturally like almost jet black hair and when she went gray she turned like silver
over.
and
Oh.
those grays are so strong versus like my dad, he was a natural blonde, his hair turned white and
Mhm.
his hair, it's actually very delicate. It's almost like a downy fur, So I think
Yeah.
they're within grays, like if it's a silvery gray, it's going to be stronger. Whereas if it's like a white hair, it's going to be more delicate.
Interesting. I wouldn't even have
Mm.
thought that.
No, but
Yeah.
I do know that, the hair on the chin that
That one hair,
Oh
the one, the
gosh.
those
one.
are stronger. My god, somebody could climb up
Yeah.
on that thing. It
Yeah.
is so strong,
Could
and
like rappel off of that thing
it
sometimes.
is great, but I do love how but isn't it like, what is it, the melon or something that women with the,
So
like, black hair have that it turns, that silver gr I want that. So I would love
it's
that color,
gorgeous.
but that's not my natural
It's
color is sort of like this,
Yeah.
but
mm,
not
I do.
but my
Sort of.
grandmother's hair yeah, my grandmother's hair was jet black, and she turned, silver, and I was like, "Oh, I'm
yeah.
gonna get that," and then I'm like, no, I'm not."
Yeah, it
What
really is dictated by, like, the pigment that our hair
Mhm.
has before it goes gray. I have so many clients come in, and they're like, "I wish I had that pure white," or, "I wish I had that
Yeah.
pure silver," and unfortunately, like, that is all genetics. We can't
Mhm.
dictate that, but it's always fun. I've begun going gray myself, and it's so fun watching the journey.
I'll
I know
see.
it's hard to they're all blended in. I have
I love
one
that.
white eyebrow. I have one solid white eyebrow that I refuse to pluck just in solidarity with my menopause sisters.
Great.
"Oh, girl, pluck it." I plucked mine. I was like, "Well, if I see it, I have to find it," and I
Yeah.
was like, "Sweeter,"
Vision is
and
a
I'm like
whole other topic.
'cause I don't wanna ask my husband. That I was so
Oh
you
God, no.
I was like, "So you try to get it out," but, yeah, it's funny. You'll have random, like, randos, I call them. I'm like, "Oh, here's another one."
Where?
Yep, absolutely.
The old randos. What is one product that every woman over 40 should use?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that's a phenomenal question. And off the top of my head, this is a product that I feel like I have Raquel on, if I'm not mistaken. This is from Inner Sense, and this is called Hair Love Prep Spray. If I were stranded on a desert island, this is the only thing I would take. It has B
Mary's
vitamin
writing it
and
down.
rice
I'm writing
protein.
it down.
It's
You
I
husband.
am so passionate about this product. It has B vitamin and rice protein, so it's going to protect your hair from thermal heat, from UV rays, and from the rice protein, it gives your hair like some oomph. It makes each hair strand feel thicker and plumper. So it is by like
It's
par
nice.
none. It is the best.
It's a good product. I really love it. I do. I mean, I'm not on it, but I use it.
Mare, I'll send you a link once we get
Oh,
off.
yeah, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, excuse me,
We're gonna chat. Yeah.
we're gonna chat when," because
Yes.
that is something, like, you do want to, you feel it differently in the shower, and as
Yes.
you're, like, stringing out, you're like, "Oh, okay, here it keeps
Yes.
coming,"
Oh,
and just something that you
yes.
could help stop not the whole process, but just to what you have to make it as healthy as it can be with along, eating the protein and so much
Yeah.
protein. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, damn much protein.
I know. So I started a weightlifting journey some years ago. And when my coach taught me about nutrition and he told me how much protein I had to eat in a day, I nearly fell over
Yeah.
because
I
it's
don't
like, how is that
understand.
possible?
Right. I
How?
don't understand.
It's crazy, but yeah, and just the amount, like, I always, when they say, like, 4 ounces or 5 ounces, I'm like, "Oh, that's just like no, that's pretty large amount," and I, like, looked at
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, "Wow, okay, here we go.
It's like
Here
the
we go.
fiber. I tried a fiber load. I swear to God. I
Oh,
like
the fiber.
medium
Oh
husk
my
and do all the things.
gosh.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
There's not enough chia seeds in the world.
Stirring it
uh,
so fast because it's so clumpy, and otherwise it'll be like you're just drinking like I
pudding."
don't know, glue or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's yes, it is a journey,
yeah.
a
Yeah.
lifestyle journey that, but
Yes.
this is all, so good to know, and,
I
you
know.
know
I do have some classes coming up on menopause.com and what we're really looking
Yes.
forward to. So
yes,
we've
I'm
recently
so
partnered
excited.
with Amalia, and she is going to be our hair love specialist. And so
love it.
she's got some really cool classes that she's designed, and I'm really looking forward to the classes myself because God knows I need help in that department.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best part. I mean, because, like, I mean, it's not growing as fast and, the cuts, you're like, "Oh, I don't really need a cut," but I am so looking forward to these workshops. Yeah. I think, and like we had mentioned before we started recording, like, I think a lot of women hold their confidence in the hair. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
So
know,
true.
and so it's like you have so many things battling, like you getting hot flashes or the brain fog, and you feel like unsteady, but you're like, but I'm having a good hair day. So you're like
Yes.
thriving.
And the confidence
A
level goes
good
from here to about here.
Yeah,
You can actually feel the
yeah,
difference in
you
yourself.
do.
Yeah.
a good
So,
hair
and
day
then
can
when
absolutely keep us together.
Mhm,
yeah, it
and then
does.
you're like, I suffer I get home and I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't wanna mess up my hair because it's been good all day."
Oh, I know. I know, like, that's how when you got it done, it looked amazing because you get it done, and if they straighten it for me, I'm like, "I can do this. I have the tools."
Yes,
And this side, perfectly straight, I can get. This side will have, like, a bend or a kink, and I'm like, what is happening? Am I
yeah,
not
and then
always
you're just
happy with this
ironing and
side?" But
ironing.
never yes. There's always one side you leave, and you're like so anytime I go to my hairdresser, I'm like, I have a couple of errands because I wanna show her off before I go.
Making it
Which one yeah.
count.
So you make your appointment early and you walk around
Yeah.
town all day.
Yes. Yeah, you just do the errands, you're like, "I got just got the
Feeling
errands."
good.
Yes.
Something I really love too personally behind the chair also because I think the story is universal. You leave the hairstylist, your hair is so perfect. I really love to teach women how to style their own hair at home because
Yes.
I think that is not something that we learn unless it's trial or error or watching some confusing YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Hmm.
think that is something too. If there are any hairstylists watching, take the time to teach your women how to style their hair so they feel confident like that every single day.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect because yeah, I'll get the same tools or you go to Ulta Beauty and you're like, "Oh, I'll get this." And the curling iron. Now, I was raised with the curling iron in the 80s for Calvin that had the clip, so
Oh
you
yeah.
you held it, you
The
just hold
prong,
it,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now they're without it and they
Uh-huh.
give a glove and I was like, "Who needs this glove?"
Oh, I know, same.
Evidently I do because I'm like, "Oh, I burnt my fingertip off. Oh, I was like burnt."
So many scars.
You know,
So many scars.
even for me, I do not use a curling wand behind the chair. I still use a curling iron with the clamp because
Perfect.
I'm like, no, we need something fail safe. I don't want to burn myself. Maybe my mind starts drifting off, and next thing you know, you have a burn mark. I'm like, that it's too risky. It's too risky.
It is. I always wondered, like, why did they take that away? Like, I mean, I know if you went the wrong way, you'd get a kink in it. I understand. It was like, oh, that's not supposed to be. But I'm like, if you get a curling iron and it comes with a silicone glove, I'm like, that's out of my. That's
That's out of my
You're
wheel.
out. You're Irish goodbying.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
that is hilarious.
Well, yes, yeah. So I'm so excited. So you said that there are workshops that we have that are coming up.
Yeah, we've
So
got them
I
coming up
mean,
in January of 2026 that we're all looking forward to. Me in
I'm
particular.
so excited. I'm
oh,
so excited to just talk a little bit more about the science and what's going on, what products to maybe do some good healthy swaps, some label literacy, and also too something I'm really passionate about is giving women tools as our hair changes. Sometimes we don't identify with who we see in the mirror. We don't feel like ourselves. So I love to bring some tools to bring mindfulness into your beauty routine so you can feed your soul. You can see it as a sacred time of you carving out space to take care of yourself and just learn how to love who you see in the mirror.
Amalia, I love you. I
Sweet, I
you
love you too.
girl crush. And Raquel, do you know how lucky you are that you get it to go to? I don't know. I'm not good with
Don't worry,
geography.
Mary, you're gonna get on a
I'm
plane and
on.
come on out.
I have to
We.
come to Reno.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah, I'll be like, "Oh, Southwest." They'll be like, "Oh, are you going for your hair again?" Yes, yes,
Yes,
I
yes, I
am.
am.
Once a season.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like we tell Mary, like, come on out, we'll just show you
Yeah,
around.
Oh, yeah.
we would have so much fun here.
We so would. My husband is like, You'd be coming back, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah."
Sure.
Wink, wink.
He can come too. We love
But
Mark.
yes. But it's so great in the sense that, like, there's nothing like in the area where I am, there's nothing like you that is out here. And it's like that is a definite void that is missing out here because how you explain it, it just makes it like a whole complete um process that like is
Yeah,
missing. You can't do a little bit of something all along. You have to do it all together. So knowing that you're behind the client,
yeah,
you're helping with energy, you're helping them feel empowered when they leave and how to continue it when they're home. That is
yeah. And I
something
think that's
amazing.
so huge because we do have to go through all of these systems and learning every little step a little bit along the way is not just like everything coming at you at once and becoming more in tune
Totally.
with like all processes in your body. And like you were saying about the YouTube videos, like yeah, it's really great to watch these YouTube videos, but those women have completely different hair than any of us do. So,
1000%. And I also, too, for myself, when I go on YouTube and you look up hair tutorials, it's also women of a different age
Hmm.
with different hair.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's not a lot of representation. And that can also kind of cause some confusion or maybe like identity crisis. So, maybe we have to start making some YouTube videos.
I'm in.
Oh, I'm in.
I'll be the model. I'll test it. Mary, you gotta come on out
We'll
for
use
this.
both
Yeah.
of you as a model.
Yes.
We'll do Mayor's hair naturally curly.
Oh,
We'll do a little curling iron tutorial for you, Raquel.
Oh, I need it. Mare, all I picture, Mare, is like some like Madonna gloves with the curly hair.
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Sassy.
well, I
Sassy.
did. I was like, we're talking about hair. We're going to talk like Jersey hair. I'm wearing my leopard sweater. I was like,
Yes.
leopard is always, it's a staple.
Leopard is a neutral.
It,
Leopard is a neutral.
thank you so much. It absolutely is. Totally believe in that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Me too. Me too.
Well, cool. Well, oh my gosh, Maya, I can't thank you enough. We will have so many little notes in that, and I'll be getting that hair love prep spray, the
Yes.
vitamin, and yeah, we'll just put some in the notes about like how to do it. And I'm so looking forward to that app that you said to get, like Talk Dirt
Yes.
or yeah, Think
Think
Dirt.
dirty.
Yeah,
I
Think dirty.
we can drop those in in the comments too. We'll drop the 2
Yep.
links in the comments for those
Yeah,
of you. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I
Yes,
think
sounds
that's
good.
something to help when we're in the store with our cheaters, needing a cheater to read the ingredients.
Oh, yeah. And I'm
And
like, you know
you know,
what? Screw the classes. Let me just scan this,
Yes.
enlarge it, and
yeah.
just tell me what I need to know. Who really is the time,
Right.
to go through all of that? I think we're busy. Again, our brains can only hold so much. So I love that in this era with more education and knowledge, now there are also things like apps and also clean beauty companies that we know we can trust that just kind of take the guesswork out of it.
Uh,
Perfect. Well,
yeah.
beautiful. Well,
I
I
can't wait
again,
for you to come back and visit us with more tips and
we
tricks.
will
Yeah, I'm so
like,
excited. I
oh
have
yeah,
so much knowledge. I cannot wait to share.
I can tell, and
And
I can't wait
yeah.
either.
I can hardly wait for the workshops, but also we can do, a spring session, like, because,
totally.
I think when seasons change,
Yeah.
so does everything. Like it's a drier weather now with being cold and
Yeah,
there's
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
So, and just
totally.
Yeah.
another reason to talk with you again. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Well, I am more than happy to chat anytime. Anytime. You both are so wonderful. And this has been a great little, great part of my day.
Oh,
Thank
perfect.
you.
Well, thank you. And as I always like to end every episode, we will see you next Tuesday.
Love it.